Okay, good morning, Dewan.
Morning.
Final day!
Final day.
Oh my god, it is so exciting.
It is.
This is final day. You've mentioned before this is your final game. What has been your proudest moment so far?
My proudest moments is actually doing things I would never do in my real life. I think I expressed that I'm really afraid of water I can't stand in. So jumping off a diving board was really big for me. Getting in a helicopter was really big for me. These are all things I said I wouldn't do prior to coming here, and I ended up doing it. So I'm pretty proud of myself about that. And I just wanted to do well. So, and I feel like I made it to the point in the game where I actually did well. So, I feel complete no matter what the result's going to be.
So, going into your last night sleeping
Mm-hmm.
at Camp Hellrex, what was it like with everybody?
It was really chill. Honestly, after the challenge, we were also exhausted because it lasted like 4.5 hours. I don't know how Angela and Jameson were able to stand on that for 4 hours. That's crazy. And then 2 of the hours they couldn't use their hands, so that's insane. I could only last like an additional 5 minutes without my hands, so I'm like, whoa. But I also have like wide, thicker feet, so I don't think the challenge was um, set up for me.
Going into our final five extinction, what are you hoping happens?
I think right now, um, we can't get Jameson again. So the best next option would be another jury threat, which would be Angela. I don't think Angela upset anybody on the jury. I think everybody actually is rooting for her on the jury. Um, she she's won 2 immunities. She proved that she's a competitor. Yeah, and most importantly, she's like the most likable. So I think that's probably the best option for me right now.
And finally, what are you hoping happens today so you can clench that win at the end?
I'm hoping that I don't get sent into fire because I'm really weak in that department. Um, yeah, I think I don't know because I'm honestly at this point, based off how things are going, I do want to win the immunity so I don't have to go in fire at all. But my track record's not good for immunities. I think Jameson has a huge chance at just winning the last immunity again. I don't know where he stands. I did vote for him the last tribal, which I'm kind of regretting a little bit. I should have just voted for Maris, like I said I was, but me being emotional and wanting to give Maris a sympathy vote, I'm trying to build some kind of jury management back up because I know I really hurt a lot of people on the jury, and I don't think they have any interest in voting for me. But that's okay. I'm proud of myself regardless.
That's all that you need.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dewan.
Thank you.
Anything for our live audience?
Thank you for watching, and thank you for rooting for me.
Shout out Katy Perry.
Shout out Katy Perry.
Thanks, Dewan. Okay, good morning, Angela.
Good morning.
It is day 8, the final day of the
Yes,
game, and
it
you made
is.
it. How do you feel?
I am exhausted after last night. I am so tired, but I'm also excited. I'm proud of myself for making it this far. So, but I'm also nervous because it's like just because I'm this far doesn't mean I'll make it till the end. Lots of emotion.
What had you so exhausted last night?
Well, Danny, We were doing, I forget what it's called, but the challenge where you stand, then you go down onto the smaller set of balls, then you go down to the lines. Jameson and I were up there for 4.5 hours. Way too long. The only reason I stepped down is because we cut a deal, and I looped Mackenzie in on it. Because Jameson tried to talk to me, I think, at like 3:40, 3 hours, 40 minutes. But I was like, it's not you that I don't trust. You're one person. There's 3 other people here, and I know my name has been on the chopping block. So I stepped down at 4:30 once Mackenzie guaranteed, like, she would agree to the deal. If not, I think Jameson and I maybe would have been up there for more, I don't know, a few more hours even.
What were the terms of the deal?
So Jameson pitched it to me immediately, or not immediately, initially, saying, if you step down, I can guarantee that I'll take you to the Final Four. I declined. I said, would you accept the deal if I offered it to you? And he said, not right now. And I said, then that's your answer. So then 30 minutes passes, it's 4 o'clock. He brings it up again. I say the same thing. It's like, if you want to do that, but flip it, so I have immunity, you step down, I'll agree. He was still not ready to do that. Then I told him that I've been voted out once before, and I know it could happen again. It's not that I don't trust his word, there's just other people around. I don't want to step down with him saying that, oh, I'm safe with him, when there's 3 other people who could change the direction of the vote. So 4:30 comes along. We chit-chat some more. I say the same stuff. It's like, I'm not stepping down because I don't feel safe. I know that there's people here who are closer to Jameson. So I think if I were to win, Jameson would likely have a better chance of staying. I think Mackenzie would have been on the chopping block. If Jameson won immunity, I would be on the chopping block. And that's exactly what happened. So I told him, I don't need a deal from you solely. I need a deal with you and some people below. And Dewan and Noah were asleep, so that left Mackenzie. We included her in on it. She thought about it. She looked at them sleeping and she said, I agree to that. So I turned to Jameson. I was like, so we're good? We're in agreement? And he said yes. So I stepped down. 4.5 hours. New record.
Do you think that this agreement is ironclad?
I'm hoping so. I felt good about it this morning. Good enough. I'm just going to have to trust their word for it. Because I know last night we were all tired. I was sleepy. Our feet were hurting. Jameson was like, they're getting more sleep and they're going to be more prepared tomorrow. Their feet aren't going to hurt as much as our feet will. The longer we stay up here, the worse of a position we'll be in. And I think we were on agreement with that. So far, what I've told Jameson and what Jameson has told me has been truthful and honest. So I'm just going to trust that he's continuing to be truthful and honest. I know my name was brought up immediately this morning by Noah. And then Mackenzie came to me and told me, Jameson came to me and told me. And we seem to be on agreement that we want Noah to go.
So, what are you most proud of in this game, Angela?
Honestly, just making it this far. I never expected to. I didn't expect to be good at some of the challenges. I didn't expect to win immunity twice even. On endurance challenge type stuff. I did not think that was my strong suit at all. So I'm just proud of proving to myself that I am capable of more than I thought I was.
Any final thoughts for our live audience?
I'm just excited to be here. It's crazy to think that it's the last day, but I am ready to take a shower. I was like wiping my feet with a body wipe, and I was like, the color difference after wiping is crazy. I'm ready to do that everywhere.
Oh my god, the shower is going to be amazing,
I'm
Angela.
so excited for it.
I can't wait. But for now, you still have a lot more game to play.
Yes, I do.
Good luck.
See you then. Toodaloo.
Good morning, Noah.
Good morning, world. How is everyone doing today?
It's day 8,
It's
final
day
day.
fucking 8, and I'm here. I am the roach that they can't fucking kill, bitch. Like, they're trying to get me, but they can't, so.
So, last night you had a pretty long endurance challenge, but it didn't seem like you really needed it.
No, because, your girl has an idol. So, I knew I was safe last night, so I knew that no matter what, like, I'd be okay, and I'm guaranteed Final Four, because I'm an idol, and this is the last time I can play it. So why waste my energy on standing on something for hours when I can be nice and cuddled up by the fire? I know that might be stupid because I should just still want to play for immunity, but I mean, I feel like it's smarter to work smarter, not harder. You know what I'm saying? But no, I feel good about today. It's going to be an interesting vote because according to Angela, I don't deserve to make it to the end. That's some things I've heard around camp saying that she's been saying about me. So let's see if you deserve to make it to the end, girly pop. Because yeah, I might not be a challenge threat and I might not be winning these challenges, but I'm a very strategic person and I feel like I used my personality and my chair and my charisma to kind of keep me going, keep me going, keep me going round after round. This will be the third round they try to take me out, but they just can't. Um, but I feel good. I feel like I'm in a really good spot with my final three, me, Mackenzie, and Jameson. They both are going to throw votes on me. I already know this. They know about my idol. These are my closest allies that I trust with the world. And we're too far into this game for all three of us not to make it to the end together. Um, and yeah, I'm just really fucking excited to fucking play this game. And I'm really proud of myself. I'm proud of myself that I made it to day 8. Being the biggest and heaviest guy on the cast, I was a little bit nervous that, some of the food, like not eating, not sleeping, some of the challenges would be really rough for me, but I'm honestly really surprised with myself. And I'm really proud of myself. And so I think if I can take anything away from this game, as of right now, it's don't doubt yourself. If you think you're too big, if you think you're too skinny, if you think you're too old or too young to come out here and play, honestly, throw it all out the window. Because if I can come out here and play, so can you. Like, apply because we need more fresh faces into this community. And this is such an amazing game, and I've had such amazing fucking time. I'm ready to jump into the next challenge and hopefully maybe win immunity. If not, I do feel comfortable that Jameson might take me to the final. Maybe Mackenzie. I know Jameson did talk about wanting to go to fire for his resume, which, boy, go ahead. I'm not risking that shit. But yeah, so I feel good. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who's been tuning in and everyone who's been rooting for me. I hope I'm not letting you guys down, and I hope I'm making you guys proud. Until next time, Hurricane Koa is flying out the villa.
Thanks, Noah. Wow! Oh my god. Sorry, there was a bee. Good morning. It is day 8. You're at the finale. How do you feel?
I feel like I'm gonna throw up. So a lot of conversations are being had, and obviously at this point, you do have to lie to someone, and I think my mind is made up on what I'm doing today, but I don't necessarily feel morally good about it.
What's going on today?
Last night at the endurance challenge, Angela and Jameson struck a deal. I was a part of that deal because Angela said, I won't step down unless someone else agrees that they will bring me to Final Four. When I made this deal, I meant it. I was willing to go to the end with her. And also, it was a very awkward position that I was put on. I was the only one awake. Like, clearly the conversation was being had with me. So if I say no to that in that moment, now Angela knows that I wasn't intending on bringing her to four. So, like, I felt like my hands were kind of tied, but I would have followed through on it. I didn't learn until last night that Koa found an idol. He told Jameson. So I believe now the plan is, in solidarity, we still are voting Koa to show that we were going to do that, but he plays the idol and she gets idled out.
That is pretty heavy, especially after you guys lasted 4.5 hours in that challenge. You're 8 days into this really mentally exhausting game. So if you could say something to future Angela, what would you say?
I'm really sorry. I don't feel good about this. This is normally not the way that I play. This is not the way that I operate in daily life, but I've never made it this far before. And I think that I need to keep continuing to play in a way that is good for my game and not just what my moral compass says to do. And at the end of the day, it is a game, and I've been playing really hard throughout the entire game, and I don't think that I should stop now just because my heart tells me it's the wrong thing to do.
When battling your head and your heart, how do you make sure you pick the right one at this moment?
I remember every time that I made a decision with my heart and how it screwed me over.
Any final thoughts for our live audience?
I didn't mean to be the villain of the season, and I hope people don't see me that way. I hope people see that I'm just trying to think things out in the most strategic way possible. If we bring Angela to 4, that means Angela gets to 3. She's a conservationalist. Even if she doesn't win this challenge, she doesn't get picked. She's going to beat whoever at fire. That's an additional thing on her resume. I can't sit next to that.
Who do you want to sit next to?
Jameson. And I don't really care who the third is out of Koa and Duan. I think I would maybe prefer Koa because I think less people would be willing to vote for him, but I just want to make it there with Jameson. I've been honest. I can at least say I've been fully honest with one person in this game, and that's him.
Thank you, Mackenzie. Good luck.
Thank you.
Good. Good morning,
Good
Jameson.
morning.
It is our final day. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling super excited to have made it to day 8. I'm feeling especially proud to have won the necklace last night. I'm not wearing it because, unfortunately, on the way back to camp, I dropped and broke it. It's currently being repaired. But it was a brutal challenge. 4.5 hours, I believe we made it. My feet, it was less painful than the first team endurance challenge, simply because my feet were completely numb. I couldn't feel anything. It was uncomfortable, but it wasn't painful. The worst part was after we came down and I put my feet by the fire, and 2 or 3 minutes later, some feeling started to come back in my feet. I could not speak for a couple minutes because there was so much pain, especially in my heel. But 10-15 minutes later, it was okay, and I was able to walk back to camp.
So, at the challenge, it seems like a deal may have been struck. We were watching the live last night, so tell us about that.
A deal was struck. It got messy because the deal I offered Angela was, if we're at Final Four and I win at Final Four, I will take you to the Final 3. Angela then struck a deal with Mackenzie to go to the Final Four. Angela then said, Jameson? They agreed on that, and then Angela said, Jameson? And I said, yeah. From my perspective, the deal that I struck with Angela was to take her to Final 3 if I win at Final 4. But I'm almost certain that from Angela's perspective, the deal also includes me taking her to Final 4. And that's weighing heavy on me right now because I think Angela's my biggest threat to sit next to at the end. But if I were to vote her out now, it doesn't matter whether I think it is going back on a deal or not. If Angela does, and if the rest of the jury does, then my game might be shot. So I'm currently planning to vote for Koa, but I'm not set in stone.
So, if you had it your way, how would the stone be shaped for this next elimination?
How would the stone be shaped?
Sorry, I'm so tired. Just who's going home?
I think Angela, but I'm debating starting a live tribal and flipping it to Dewan.
Why would you want to start a live tribal?
Because I'm afraid if Angela goes home, I lose the jury's respect if they perceive that I went back on the deal that I made, on a deal that I made with her. And maybe the other thing is, my biggest fear while being up there last night is that, so Angela has a great story. Angela is a rookie. She won a battle back. She's won, I think, 2 immunity challenges and stepped down off one that, let's be clear, she would have beat me at that. I got a lot more weight going down through my legs. She could have been there a very long time. That's a really good story. My biggest fear was that if she does that and wins Final 5 and maybe even wins the next Final 4 challenge, I think absolutely zero chance of beating her. Since I'm the one with immunity at Final 5, and if I can win at Final 4 and take her still being true, that definitely being true to the deal I made with her, that might take away enough of her potential story so that I still can beat her at the Final 3.
What's your story at the Final 3?
My story at the Final 3 is one of relationships. I focused very hard at the beginning to make one-on-one connections because we all strongly suspected we would be split out into groups, and I wanted to be ready no matter what pack I was split out into. And then I kept those alliances secret. So the top two being Mackenzie and Koa. And I've gotten a lot of information from them that was useful in this game because people didn't know that I was aligned. So those secret relationships, those secret allies, really helped me. And if I let Angela go home, my story becomes I played a pretty honest game so that people would trust me, so that I could make one critical lie. And that's what I'm currently debating, is if that story works with the jury, or if I stick with an honest game, try to bring Angela to the end, and hope that I still get more votes than her.
Good luck, Jameson.
Thank you.